Good morning, you beauties. We're about to go on a journey. Are you ready for this? Had to get us better set up there. I want to take you guys on a little bit of a journey with me because I feel like I'm having some profound awakening, realization, whatever you want to call it, enlightenment. And it's funny because I try not to use these words to intensely because they hold so much, they hold so much. They hold so much judgment. They hold so much just ideas, attachment, whatever. Labels. Anyways, we're going to get on with it. Take it how it resonates. I was journaling this morning, and just to give you a little bit of a backstory of where this is all coming from, I have been navigating this grieving period in my life, and I feel like it's been a collective grief. I like reading the energy of the collective, and then individually within myself, my close family and friends, like we're all very much moving through this death and this rebirth, and it feels like a really powerful time in the collective, like not just individually, like yes, there are cycles and winter and things die and are renewed, but the collective is going through, and this is just energetically reading it, the collective is going through a death, or has been going through a cosmic detox. And if you look at our astrology, everything is in alignment with that. Like we have 6 planets in retrograde, or Gatorade, as I like to call it. And that in itself is showing that we have all of this energy. Each planet represents a different aspect of life and our being, love, relationships, money, career. And if they're all in this reverse motion to the naked human eye, I shouldn't say naked because we can't see planets naked, or with the naked eye, but there is like the stars line up with what we're feeling. And so whether you believe in astrology or not, or energy or whatever it is, you can feel it. And if you're not sure what the fuck I'm talking about, pardon my French, I'm going to try not to swear too much. I tend to swear when I get more into the energies because I'm feeling the depth of their intensity, and so I apologize in advance if any of those words slip out. We've been moving through this depth. I don't want to lose myself too much in here because it's really easy for me to trail off. So we've been moving through this depth, and within myself, I've been moving through what feels like a complete death in the way I've lived and experienced life totally and entirely. I have seen life through this lens, through this perception, through this way of existing. I need to stretch while I'm here. And that way of existing has been in this little box. Maybe that's why I'm putting my arms up. Has been in this, life has been through a lens that is this big. Just this big. Okay? And I am learning to see life without a lens, you could say. Like, there is no lens. There's no filter on it. And the way in which I'm experiencing that is, this is very metaphorical, how I'm saying it, but life as I've known it has died in the way that I've learned to operate and navigate life from outside the vehicle. This is my vehicle. This is my earth vehicle. You have your earth vehicle. This is my earth vehicle. And society, or generations, or family, or whoever it was, whoever taught you how to operate life, which is how they were taught to operate life. Pardon me, I need to turn my little fireplace down here. is by operating outside the vehicle. Like when you want to go get a job, you go and you hand out resumes and you look for the job physically. And when you want life to go in this direction, you start, as an example, like I wanted a different living room energy. I needed a different feel in my space. And so I moved this couch in my living room around like 100 times. And I tried every angle and every position, and I've taken it apart and I'm putting it back together. And it's just, I've tried everything to put this couch in a way that I want it. And if I just allowed myself to like sink in to like what I want my living room to feel like, I can see which position the couch is in. And I didn't have to go through all of that effort of like lifting it up, putting it over here, lifting it, putting it over there, moving it around, shoving it, Tetrising through the living room. And so that's just a very brief example. But basically, if we were to try and drive life outside of our car, like if we were to be in the car, push the gas, get out, move that car, turn the wheels outside the vehicle, get in, push the gas a little bit more, get out, get the street light to turn green. You know what I mean? Like that's how we've been operating through life. That's how we've been taught to do life. We go outside of the vehicle and we try to mold and manipulate life the way we want it to be. And so what I've been learning and in this deep transformation that I've been moving through is that life is not to be operated from outside your vehicle. You're supposed to get in, grab the steering wheel from within, and drive. That is the most graceful and harmonious way to drive life, right? Life is the road. And so I'm going to share how this is coming through and how I kind of navigated this beautiful metaphor to help me understand the transformation of, awakening or enlightenment or whatever you want to call it. And I think there's many stages to enlightenment and awakening, but this is the stage that I feel like I'm at. And I think it's a powerful share for you guys. So I called this morning's reflection a reawakening from the slump, because that's the way I've been feeling lately. I feel grateful I tune within the caverns of mind and heart. I gratefully take the help offered to me. I recognize my pain while also holding focus on my divinity. I feel it at ease as I move with intention. With every movement, action, and non-action, I intentionally remember who I am. I am remembering. Inviting activations and downloads to bless my entire being. Through medicine music, I am supported fully throughout all my transformations. I see myself coming alive. I feel my body come online. I sense my love growing from within. I welcome my divine connection to deepen. The areas I struggle are becoming clearer. I witness where shadows still lurk in the depths of my mind. We are here. Lost, we are no more. If this is true enlightenment, I feel blessed to have taken on such transformation, releasing a weight that was never anything more than creation of the mind, collecting the data that lives in each cell of my existence, inner and outer world. I am 13.4 billion years of creation, who had become trapped in the illusion of suffering in the small and limited and restricting. True enlightenment, if this is it, is in fact the embodiment that you or we never were anything in particular, but everything as a whole. And if I can describe the feeling of this truth, it is a relaxation at the deepest core of my being, a stillness that needs no sound. a pause between inhale and exhale that needs no breath, a surrender that requires no surrender at all. I feel I have broken the generational entanglement of trauma and illusion from within, free from how I've perceived life itself and how the world works, rotates, and functions, to experience and navigate as a symbiotic element to its entirety. This requires a working from the inside out instead of the outside in. The car drives the road, or does the road drive the car? Perhaps neither would exist without the other. Therefore, without a road, there would be no car, and vice versa. So in the same way, you must drive your life from within your vehicle. Attempting to drive from outside the vehicle would seem awfully exhausting and frankly wouldn't get us very far in the end anyways. So life is the same. We must drive from within the vessel. We drive from within the vehicle, trusting life outside to do its part. Drivers staying in their lanes, mostly. Pedestrians following the rules, mostly. Lights turning red and green. The way we've been taught to live life is trying to operate from outside the vehicle, pushing drivers and pedestrians in their lanes, painting lines, and manually attempting to operate streetlights and road signs, forcing the wheels of our vehicle from outside rather than steering from within, taking great efforts to make little distance. Whereas going within, letting the external do what it does, operates without much force, a flow, if you will, and it is fluid, and becomes fluid, mostly. And you steer to go around the accidents, pedestrians, and other drivers from within. What this means is life can truly be driven from inside. Where is your inner steering wheel? What does it feel like to navigate from within the vessel instead of trying to manipulate and control from outside? Yo, I hope this really hits and meets who it needs to in these moments, because for me, this metaphor is changing the way in which I can allow myself to operate life. You know, and that when it comes to like the secret of life itself, like, yo, I think this is it. You know, pray for my protection, because you know what happens to the people who know things. No, I know I'm safe and I'm just joking, but I think I'm going to leave it there and allow these things to sink in for a minute. And of course, if you ever have any questions and care to know more, please, you know, drop it in the comments. Let me know. I'm always looking for more inspiration as to what to share and bring to you guys. This is my soul passion, purpose, and heart's calling from every cell in my body. And to express what I'm experiencing and seeing that impact those who benefit from it is everything to me, because I don't think there's anything else I can do with the depths of these experiences other than share them, because otherwise they're just trapped inside my being and I'm alone, and I choose not to live life that way anymore, and I choose to share. And if there's just one person that gets impacted by this out there, I have done my part. And even if it doesn't, even if it's just entertaining, I know I'm still doing my part, just showing up and authentically sharing what is happening within me, and as I feel called to share, and just openly and vulnerably show up. show up onto the stage of life, even when I don't have a script, or even when I do have a script. I had a script today, so it was a little bit different, but you don't got a script every day, and I don't think you're supposed to. And that's where like the mostly comes from. Life shows up mostly. Life cooperates mostly, because if it cooperated all the time, if it was the same all the time, we'd get pretty freaking bored. So I think there's an element to it being mostly cooperative. And, everything else that we're operating that's not cooperative on the external world or internal world is truly just you looking back at you. If you are the entire universe, in which you are made of stardust, I mean, there's much more physical science explanation as to how you are the universe. Oh yeah, we'll take you down a quick little rabbit hole here. Did you know one strand of DNA holds, I think it's like 13 trillion petabytes, which is like insane amount of information, basically like 13.4 billion years of information. That's what one DNA strand holds in your body. So, and that is a very simple example of how you are the universe. You are the entirety of existence, because your DNA holds 13.4 billion memories. Or yeah, I think it's a memory thing. You can look into this yourself. I forget what to Google, but yeah, just look it up. Look up how much information your DNA can hold. And you will see that you truly have the entire universe inside of your being. And if we can learn to operate with that knowledge and from that foundation, you recognize that the outside world is an outside world. It's you. It's you experiencing you. And I don't mean on the level of like, I am a tree and I am like, sure, like, yes. And like, we are physical beings with this physical little brain that operates from inside this vessel, not the tree's vessel. So we can't necessarily see from the tree's perspective unless you go into remote viewing. I'm sure you can play with that. But it's just recognizing that what is happening outside of us isn't out of our control. It isn't something that we need to like try and mold and manipulate like clay. It's just showing us what needs to come up within us. And if that's, if the driver on the road is really pissing you off, you have anger that needs to be expressed. Simple. And you're using that as an excuse. Your subconscious is using this as the excuse to let this expression, let this emotion be allowed. And that's where I feel a lot of emotions come from. When they get triggered or when we're reactive or anything. My dog's been waking me up, Blue. He's been waking me up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. And I can recognize when I get angry, like when I just like get frustrated, and I'm just like, wake me up so you can go poop. And he's old, like I have sympathy for his needs in the middle of the night because he's getting up there in age. But I recognize that there's just emotion that is unexpressed in my being, and it's using that situation as an opportunity to relieve itself. And so I work in the realms of emotional mastery. I've been studying and researching like the emotional body and how humans operate with it just the entire operations of our emotions inside and out, and why they do what they do and why they come from where they're coming from and come up, inconveniently, you could say sometimes. And yeah, if there's anything I've learned, that everything outside of us is just showing us what we need to work on, or, more to be grateful for, or it reminds me of that saying, you don't know what you want until you know what you don't want. And so I feel like that becomes very cohesive. Cohesive is the word that wants to come through to how we're actually supposed to navigate life. And the navigating of life wouldn't be done from the outside in if we recognize the outside was just showing us our inside. And what inside needs our love and nourishment and attention. And then when we work from that inside place and reach the level of, compassion or acceptance or forgiveness or releasing resistance to what our external reality is doing, we stop giving the external reality our power. We stop feeding energy outside of ourselves to recognize or to change what's going on inside, because the reality of it is we're just experiencing life from the inside out anyways. There's 100 examples that come to mind when I say that, and I don't even think I need to share any because I know you guys know. If you're here, you know. And if you don't and you're just learning, become aware of how you experience life. And that means how you feel as you move through your day. And when we become aware of how we feel, we recognize that it doesn't matter what's going on out here. We're still going to feel how we're feeling. So if you're feeling grief, if you're feeling sorrow, if you're feeling depression, if you're feeling joy, whatever's going on out here is just going to be put through that emotional lens. And that's why your state of being is the most significant foundation. Your emotional being, foundational. It's foundational to how we experience life. Because if your lens is dark and gray, that is how we experience life. And that being said, it doesn't mean it's bad. Like, we need to experience life through dark and gray lenses sometimes. We don't go through grieving and try and paint the sky yellow and with happy faces. No, we move through the process. We allow ourselves to feel the sadness and the experience of it. But that's just it, is allowing yourself to be where you are, allowing yourself to just hold compassion, no matter how ugly that emotion or that feeling or that discomfort or how loud it might be. You're just you know what? I don't enjoy this, but I love you anyways. And that allows these emotions to be expressed, and then they don't come up because of the driver on the road, because you held space for them and you let them be heard. You let yourself, go box. If you're an angry person, go punch a bag in a gym or something. I know, I have a passionate anger that gets fired up sometimes when I see injustice and or face difficulty that is repetitive and a lesson that I'm still trying to learn. And when I go in, punch a bag about it, I feel better. And that's just simple. It's simple. Allow yourself to express. And that is the working from the inside out. This all, as I trailed off, I know I said I was going to close it, but we ended up down another rabbit hole that was very significant to what I'm talking about. And so I'm grateful to that it's unfolded in this way, because it really truly feels like the secret to life is to learn to operate from the inside out. And that means mastering how you feel. And if you ever need support with that, and I'm not, this isn't me trying to sell, I'm not selling anything. If you genuinely want support and you want to send me an email or drop it in the comment and just say, hey, I'm struggling with this, and blah, 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 I would gladly make a video about it, because I'm certain that you are not the only one that's navigating this difficulty. You know, we all, as much as it feels we are alone on our journeys, on our emotional journeys, we are so connected. It is so significantly happening. Like when I have one client struggling with this area of life and this emotion, it's like all clients, all family, all friends across the board are all struggling with that same theme. And of course, we're experiencing it in its own unique ways, yes, but there is a theme. There's a subtle emotional theme. And it's really shown me how connected we are across the board. And so again, like, yes, if you're struggling with something, or you just want to know something about emotional mastery, and, you know, I continue to just bring forth what needs to be said and expressed out of my being as it like comes up, right? So any inspiration to help jolt more of that information and downloads and more of this, you know, to come through, I am all for it. And I'm just so grateful to support you guys in some way, shape, or form. And I hope this adds value to your day and to your life and to your week and your year and your month and your existence. Thank you again so much for being here. If you enjoyed my video, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me out. It helps out the channel, and it helps other people who need to get this message receive it as well. I love you guys so much. Have a blessed rest of your day.